Join me in the journey to find the ultimate Sunday roast, today with a beef rib carving joint.
This is happening. This is not a dream. I thought it was a dream. I pinched myself. It's not a dream. This morning I went to the butcher and my plan was to buy one of those little roasts to make Sunday roast. But then Patricia looked at me from the meat counter and said, "Buy me." And I looked at her and said, "Yes, I will." She's beautiful. Look at the marbling. Beautiful marbling all over. I mean, this thing is something amazing. So I bought it, came back home, waiting for a hero's welcome, and I was greeted with, "You're crazy, what do you buy such a big piece of meat? What are you gonna do with it?" I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with it. It's gonna become amazing. We're gonna do Sunday roast, the Italian style. So this, I've kept it at room temperature since I bought it, so it's been a couple of hours. It's a huge piece of meat, so we're just gonna coat it. I prepared here some garlic. These are 6 cloves of garlic. With garlic, and when you want to eat the garlic, make sure you cut it in half and you remove the middle bit. In Italy, we call it the soul of the garlic. I know it's a bit dramatic, but remove it because that bit is not digestible. So if you want to eat it, this is how to do it. We take some rosemary and some thyme. First of all, we're just going to cut everything really, really small. So this is thinly chopped. Put on our side. And we're going to add the other ingredients. So some high quality salt. I love these flaky ones. This is a lot of meat, so we need a lot of salt. I like to put mustard seeds. And with the meat, you need pepper, black pepper. We make sure that it's well incorporated. And then I'm gonna take some high quality olive oil. I like the Frentoio olive oil from Passo della Palomba. And by the way, at the moment is olive oil harvest season. So all the little farmers around the world, well, around the Northern Hemisphere, are currently collecting the olives and milling them. So I'll put a link at the bottom of the description with where you can get the Passo della Palomba olive oil, which is absolutely amazing. They have lots of varieties and you can combine them with whatever you're eating. So with the meat nicely massaged with the oil, we start adding our salt and herbs mixture. A piece of meat this big takes quite a bit of time to absorb all the flavors from the salt and the herbs. So if you can do this 5-6 hours before you need to cook it, you put it back in the fridge, and that really helps to absorb all the flavor. What's important though is that you also take the meat out from the fridge a couple of hours before you cook it, because you want to have the meat at room temperature when you put it in the oven or you put it in the barbecue. Patricia is looking absolutely stunning with this garlic and herb mixture. It's kind of like an Italian fashion show, isn't it? So we keep finishing it off. And the massage, this thing is important. You really want everything to stick and be nicely incorporated in the meat. I really can't believe that I was not welcomed like a hero when I came back with this piece of meat. I'm really upset about that. But I'm sure I'll be praised once this is cooked. All right, so we're gonna let this rest for about 3 hours because we don't have more time than that. I'm gonna keep it outside of the fridge because I'm gonna cook it right afterwards. And here it is. Bear with me here. We're gonna cook it in a slightly different way than you may be used to, but I promise this way it comes out amazing. So I've preheated the oven, fan mode, 135 degrees Celsius. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna adjust a little bit of water in the tray at the bottom for 2 reasons. First of all, it's gonna help keeping the moisture while we cook. And secondly, we're gonna be resting the meat in the tray just above. And as the fat renders into the water, then it doesn't start smoking up and smelling everything. So it's gonna be absorbed by the water, it's a lot more tidy. And by the way, this is 5.3 kilo of meat. So I think that by cooking it low and slow, it's probably gonna take us a good 3 hours. But anyway, when it comes to meat, it totally depends on fat content, shape, etc. So as usual, we're gonna be cooking to temperature. We want this to be medium rare. So when it gets to 45 degrees, then we're gonna take it out and deal with it. So we're at the 2-hour mark. Patricia is looking absolutely wonderful, as always. So here we are. You can see that the fat is rendering away and opening up. This is what we want. So now we're just gonna give it a turn. And one thing which I did not think about, but we need to deal with, and let's see how it comes out in the end, is that being so big, the temperature, if you take the top or you take the middle, has a huge variation. We're still gonna be aiming for medium rare in the middle, but of course the ones on the side are gonna be more cooked. You can see the bone is beginning to come out. So we give this a turn. So this has been in for 2 hours. I suspect we probably have another hour and a half. So this goes in. And Patricia, keep looking gorgeous. We'll see you later. 3 hours and 20 minutes. Patricia's middle is exactly 45 degrees. Granted, the top is a bit warmer, so let's cut it out and see how it looks. She's looking absolutely gorgeous. So at this point, we're just gonna take her out and we're going to rest her for 45 minutes. Down she goes. Even though we cooked it low and slow, it still has a lovely crust on the outside. She looks absolutely gorgeous. The smell is fantastic. So now it's a question of being patient. And Patricia, before we eat her, she needs her beauty sleep. Oh, what is this? It's running away. That's... Oh! Okay. Stay focused. She's all wrapped up. Let's Patricia have her beauty sleep and we'll start carving her up in about 45 minutes. Mwah! Beautiful. I've managed to appease the crowd as much as I could. It's been about 25-30 minutes, so let's cut it up and see how it looks. Oh, it's looking very juicy. So beautifully medium rare in the middle. A little bit more cooked on the outside as expected. And to serve this, the best way of doing it is to slice it nice and thin. So we can start by slicing this one up, nice thin slice, and then we can plate it. It's beautifully juicy. And this is it. It's looking gorgeous. And I've made a little bit of a chimichurri to go on top, so we can just drizzle over it. And you can use anything you want. We have some nice mustard, some horseradish, some olive oil, whatever you like. And this is it. This is your Sunday roast. But now let's give this a taste. Let's see if it tastes as amazing as it looks. Okay, an overly gigantic knife for the occasion. Very tender. Let's put a bit of chimichurri. And let's give this a taste. It's incredibly tender. The low and slow approach to cooking this allows everything to melt and be absorbed by the meat, and it's tasting amazing. And I guess this piece of meat, to be fair, was gigantic. I mean, it's beyond any sort of size. So you have in the middle, which is medium rare, which was what we were going for, and at the top is more cooked, but up here it's still wonderfully tender. And this could be amazing for when you have friends over, when Christmas is coming. So give this a shot. It's amazing. Mwah! Buon appetito.